Hey everyone, my name is Becky, I have a me, and this is my me. So first of all, let me just apologise for these ratchety, horrible nails. I normally do my acrylics, and so normally I've got lovely long fingernails, looking pretty and sparkly and all the rest of it with designs and 3D art usually. However, because I've been in this horrible flare-up for weeks, I've just not had the energy or the strength or the inclination to do them. And so what I decided to do was, because I wanted a fresh new set anyway, and it was kind of growing out and needing a new fill, so I decided I'm just going to take them all off. I'm going to just, suck them all off. And then, to keep them kind of strong and what have you, I decided to do a gel manicure on myself. Problem is, I'm not used to having gel polish on my natural nails, and it's driven me crazy. I don't know why. All I've done since I got it was pick, and I I can't show you the other hand because it's holding the camera. But when I was watching a film last night, and when the film ended, I looked down at my fingernails and I picked so much off. Like, that's like completely gone. And the little finger and the ring finger on the other hand, like, it's almost gone. It's just ridiculous what I've done to it. So yeah, crappy nails until I can sort myself out and get them done. But there we go. So anyway, I've been promising a video on chronic illness and mental health. Because I found a few stats online that I thought were quite interesting. And I decided I wanted to do this video because I've been struggling a lot, and I don't mind telling you, I've been struggling a lot with my mental health myself recently. I've been struggling with mental health issues since I was quite young. I've had a pretty rough life. I've had a lot of horrible things happen to me. I've had a lot of tragedies and traumas and things like that happen. So I have been struggling on and off all my life, really, usually on. And recently it's kind of reared its ugly head a lot, because I've been in this horrible flare-up that's lasted so long, and I've just felt so useless and I can't do anything and I just feel awful. So I decided to just kind of have a look at these statistics and things, and some of them are quite startling. So I'm going to leave the links to kind of the sources and things that I used and what I read down below, if I can. I'm sure I can figure that out. What I can't link you to is a CDC report that I read. It is online if you can try and Google it. It's cool, but I can't figure out how the life of me how to link it or put it in. I don't know. I'm also going to put some resources down in the description box for if you feel you're struggling, if you feel you're in a crisis with your mental health, reach out and get help, because as bad as it feels right now, you might be missing out on a wonderful future. You just never know. You never know what's around the corner. That's what this life has taught me. You never know what's around the corner. For me, it's always been bad, but you just never know. Anyway, let's get on with it. So, on the sources that I read, I found that depression is said to be one of the most common complications of chronic illness, and the risk increases as the severity of the illness increases, which is really, when you think about it, it is common sense. And the stats that I've found, they do some vary, but really, to be honest, they're all kind of the same. The ballpark same. There's not much difference between them. But what we're looking at really is up to a third of people with chronic illness suffer from mental health issues. A third. And this rises to a massive 54% in those of us who've got chronic pain conditions. 54%, that's over half. That's crazy. That's really, really crazy. And just to give a comparison to that, in the general population, which is, I am referring to written things, because otherwise I'll forget and get things wrong, and my brain fog is terrible today. So let's just give a comparison. The general population, which is people who are just not, normal everyday people who don't have illnesses and things, the rates for depression are 10 to 15% for women and 5 to 12% for men. So that's a huge leap to 54% for people with chronic pain. But I can understand that. I can. Because it's bloody horrible to live with. It really is bloody horrible to live with. It's also noted that children who have chronic illnesses are twice as likely to suffer from emotional problems and disturbed behaviour. Now, this bit is also super interesting. This is from a report from the CDC. And in the CDC report, chronic illness is actually listed as a risk factor for mental health disorders. And it classes, but this is the bit I found super interesting. It classes both conditions respectively and individually of each other as disabling. So imagine what it's like when they're together. Whoops, sorry, almost dropped the phone. I'm shaking. Sorry. With 80% of those with mental health disorders having some kind of physical impairment, that's without the chronic illness, so just mental health alone. It also recognises that chronic illness can directly cause mental health problems, which, I'm changing hands, don't drop it. To those of us with chronic illness, it's just, it sounds like common sense, doesn't it? But I feel like people who don't experience chronic pain or what have you, I think this would be a kind of a bit of a revelation, maybe. I don't know. 54%, that's huge. But again, it's like, yeah, of course, things like chronic illness and that cause mental health problems, But why isn't there more help? Why isn't there more support? I mean, I don't see much. I mean, I've gone to my doctors this time and I've been like, I said to him, I'm not coping. I'm not. I need something. I need a higher dose of my antidepressants or something. And he gave me something else. But that was that. Like, there was no other support. There was nothing. There needs to be, I believe there needs to be something in place. Surely, I don't know, maybe there is, and I just haven't found it. But I really haven't found it. I'm hoping to feel better soon. And I hope you're all feeling okay. And I hope you're not feeling alone with this, because you're not alone. There are so many, but 54% of people with chronic illnesses are suffering from mental health problems. And those are just the ones who have probably admitted to feeling that way. Maybe a lot of people haven't. I don't know. But to those of you who are struggling, you are not alone. I don't mind admitting that there are many, many, many times in my life where I felt like suicide was the answer. There wasn't, what was the point of me being on this earth? I thought my children would be better off without me. They'd be better off with their father or someone else. I don't know. And I don't mind openly admitting to that. And what pulled me through was my children. I imagined what their faces would be like at my funeral. That's what kept pulling me through. How they would feel at my funeral. So you're not alone. So many of us feel that way, but it can get better. You know, I've had amazing times in my life. Amazing times after times where I've thought that the best thing to do would be to go. And yet, like, I had amazing times after that. I would have missed out on those times. I would have missed out on stuff. You know, and if you haven't got children to keep you going, it's okay. It's okay. Try some, you know, I care about you. I may have never met you or spoken to you, but I care. And I want you to keep fighting. I've had to fight all my life for everything. And you, if I can do it, you can do it. Because I'm no one special. No one special. I wasn't born with anything particularly amazing. Like, no superpowers here. Just me. So if I can do these things, you can. And as I say on social media, let's get through this together. Don't give up. So I'm going to say goodbye, and thank you so much for joining me. If you want to join me on my journey, please subscribe, and hopefully I will speak to you soon. Thanks for joining me. Bye.